Hey everybody, it's Marty with Molding Graphic Systems and Polyfuze Graphics Corporation. You know, the last time I was up here was about 2 years ago, and we were shooting a video of these parts that we leave up top that have to endure constant UV exposure and weather exposure. These parts have been up here for some of them 10 years. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these parts downstairs into our lab, and we're going to take a closer look at what's happened over the course of the last few years. Hey everybody, welcome back. So we just came from downstairs. We're now in the facility, and we want to take a closer look at some of these parts, which I mentioned have been outside for 5 continuous years. Let's start with this paddle, which it's hard to tell, but it had a pad print on here. And if you get a close-up on that, you can see the pad print has completely faded. We've done nothing else other than leave it outside for 5 years, and you can see that due to rain and constant sun and wind exposure, it is completely faded away. Okay, next up is this cooler lid, which was decorated using Polyfuze. As you can see, we actually shielded part of the graphic, and as I expose the entire graphic, it's kind of hard to tell which part was exposed and which part was unexposed. Keep in mind, this part right over here was exposed to sunlight constantly for 5 continuous years. Okay, here's another part. It's a trash can lid, and as you can see, there are 2 Polyfuze labels that have been applied to the top, one that was completely covered and one that was uncovered for 5 years. Let's see if we can tell the difference as I pull away the shield, and as you can see, the covered part and the uncovered parts, really kind of hard to tell if there's a difference. There's a slight bit, as we're going to get closer up, you'll see a slight bit of color shift on the red, but that looks pretty good for 5 continuous years. This up here is a hot stamp foil, and I'm going to just rub my finger over the top of it, and you can see that the foil is still chalking off even right now. We're going to do some tests here in a little bit longer just to see how much more durable that label is. Okay, one more part. This one, it's off of a UTV. You can see this bright red color, and as you can see, the bright red still looks nice and glossy, but this is the side that was non-facing to the sun. As we start to shift the part around, you can see the color fade from the sunlight exposed side as I show you this section. And then as we reveal the graphic, and again, keep in mind, half of the graphic was exposed for 5 years, the other half was not. And we're going to see on the close-up here that this graphic has actually been cut. It has score cuts in it. And as I reveal it, there's really hardly any difference you can tell. Really can't tell a difference at all between the side that was exposed for 5 years and the side that was covered for 5 years. Okay, so now we're out in the lab, and we're going to hit these parts with a little bit of lacquer thinner. Let's see how they've held up after 5 years of continuous weather and UV exposure, and see what the lacquer thinner does. Let's put a little bit on the cloth. Let's give it a good wipe. And we'll see there's nothing coming off. All right, let's try the 2 Polyfuze graphics and the hot stamp foil. A little bit of lacquer thinner. We're going to go to the graphic that was exposed for 5 years. Giving it a good wipe. Doesn't seem like anything's coming off. What about the hot stamp foil? Yeah, I'd say that's coming off. Okay, we've got one more part to go, and I'm going to remind you, this is the part that had the razor blade score cutting in it. As you saw from the close-up, there are razor score cut lines exposed to constant rain, wind, sun exposure. Let's get the lacquer thinner on there. Let's give it a good wipe. Going across the whole graphic, the part that was exposed and the part that was not exposed. Let's hit it again just for good measure. More lacquer thinner. And the label still looks great. So if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. But I always like to include, don't take our word for it, do the testing yourself. Doing a crosshatch tape test is a relatively easy thing. You can see a lot of information from that on our website. You can do lacquer wipes on your own. But whatever labeling method you're using, it should be permanent if durability is important to you. Might be a warning label, might be a branding label. Don't take our word for it. Please do the testing on your own and see for yourself.